Hey, 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 it's Big Voice J.
Hola amigos.
Presentamos este programa
For all of my people, Negroes and Latinos, and even the gringos.
Pero si quieren saber un poco más de qué se trata, bienvenido al Club de Diamantes.
Oh, that's crazy. That's unbelievable. Yeah, and that's me. Here we are yet again. Once our long national nightmare is over, and it's not, because we have a blank screen, which is odd. We may as well just go ahead and fix this now. I'm not by myself. Good thing Rounding Walk is here. Hey, what's up, Wonk?
Hey, there I am.
Yes.
Hi.
You're here, but I'm not. That should not have happened.
Priorities, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look. That's not the only surprise we have today.
Oh?
Oh, yeah. There we go. Now that
there
works.
you are.
That works. It always helps if you activate things.
Hi.
See, Leon's already changing things. He's calling it the Wonk Show. Damn. No.
No, not the Wonk Show.
He's already calling it the Wonk Show. So, all right. So, we'll give the people what they want. There you go. There's Wonk. All right. How we doing, Wonk?
Give the people what they want.
Give them what they want.
Oh, you can call me Mr. Pony because I'm a little hoarse today.
Anyway, yes, that's the only thing on Twitch right now. Just you drinking tea. I love it.
Yep. Let's see. What have I got? I've got a Valorant player. I've got VHS tapes from 30 years ago playing, a Jackbox player, and a face painting championship, and us.
Ooh.
And we do not have the smallest audience out of those people that I follow.
Good. We've been working on it. That's what I love. So, actually, have you been following everything happening in America these past year?
As much as I can.
It's almost over, Wonk. It's almost over.
Oh, I hope so. I hope that the ending is when it's over, it's over.
When it's over, people can focus on the important things, like Mariah Carey tuning up in the background. It's almost that time. People can eat their feelings for or against the results. Blah, blah,
we
blah.
went to go visit my parents today, and on the way home, we were actually trying to remember the all of the things that got purchased in the 12 Days of Christmas song. Because apparently Hanukkah starts on Christmas Day. That's very late for Hanukkah.
That is late.
My elder daughter wanted an Advent calendar as a Hanukkah present, and I said no, that's going to piss everybody off.
Oof. Especially all of the I don't know, the Advent calendars I've seen usually involve alcohol or chocolate.
This was going to be Lego. Lego has an Advent calendar.
Rummy in the chat says there's so many freaking birds in the 12 Days of Christmas song. People were, I guess, avian fans.
Well,
then.
we actually discussed. I think that these are courting gifts that, it's my true love gave to me, and I was thinking that these are the gifts that a man is giving to a woman to prove to her family that he is of means enough to be able to take her off their hands.
Really though, long about day number 4 or 5, maybe when you get the golden rings.
5 is golden. 5 is golden rings.
Yeah,
but I was thinking Maids of Milking is a dairy farm.
I wouldn't mind that, a dairy farm.
I mean, in that point, you get you get some cowpox, you avoid smallpox, you live. That's a pretty good gift.
A steady stream of dairy, of milk. You can make all kinds of things with it. Plus, you get the maids to milk your cows. Nothing wrong with that.
Also, I realized but couldn't say it in the car. I assume that the maids were milking cows.
Maids are milking.
The maids could have, had some milkers.
Other duties as assigned. Everybody knows that. The great corporate axiom, other duties as assigned, tacked on to the end of your job description, just so we cover all the bases. And Rummy is denying that she ever said that the maids were milking cows. So she knows exactly where you're at. Great. All that's left is a trip to Santa's sex toy factory, and we're on the case. We're done. Great.
Where everything is elf-sized.
Yeah.
So, not that much going on around here. Like I said, fighting off the cold. I got new monitors.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah. I went curved. I saw like a video of somebody playing with like the 50-inch wide ultra long curved. It said, well, if I just took two monitors that were half the size and put them next to each other, can do that for like a third of the price.
You know what I always loved?
So far, so good.
You know what I always loved?
Yep.
It's the guy or gal with a massive monitor setup. And I wonder how on earth you can pay attention to all of that. And then I look at me with just one gigantic, comically huge monitor, 55-inch, right?
Let me see if.
But I use I use the free Windows magnifier so that I can see it. I don't augment the text size or anything like that, so everything fits where they're supposed to. But it is impressive to behold when you roll up on somebody's thing like that. And I'm sure many, many, many folks in the Diamond Club audience has a setup like that or has encountered a setup like that.
There was, and I can't remember the name of the company now, and that's going to bug me for a little bit. It was a company that made custom monitors, but it was a hoax. But they had a great website because it was all, smoke and mirrors, but it was like these giant cave monitors. Like it was like a 100-inch curved screen, so it came all the way around you 180 degrees.
That's not practical.
Oh, not at all.
Real, so,
but it looked fantastic. Another thing that I remember was that they sold faster. It was like hyper RAM for gaming, plutonium RAM.
Oh, dude, I'm about to show my age. I will remember the big days of the salad days of the big computer shopper magazine, about as big as this desk and just as thick.
I remember.
Where the biggest thing we're pushing is full motion video. Oh my God, it's amazing. It's still in 480p or 240p or whatever, but you can see it with the entire screen. And I was one of those jokers playing a video at 160p video at full screen going, ooh, look at that.
I'd like to...
That's right, Leon, 160p.
Leon says 160p.
And we liked it. Dang it.
That was in real media. That was the
the thing that gave us
I just lost where I was going. That was Mark Cuban, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I can't really be upset at
all
real media. 120. Yeah. And I have fond memories of downloading episodes of like the first seasons of South Park because their animation style compressed so well. You could have a 22-minute episode of South Park in 8 megabytes. It just didn't have very good audio quality.
You know what's wild?
I was going somewhere with that.
Speaking of South Park, they didn't destroy anything. They saved all of the assets from season 1. So as technology progressed,
cardboard like the construction paper assets,
and every digital and non-digital. So they could theoretically, they can go back and re-render season 1 in HD. Not many shows can say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Leon just says they remastered everything up to 4K. Oh, speaking of remastering.
Where the hell was I going with that?
I want you to look for this Me TV Tunes from Weigel Broadcasting, I think it is.
Okay, yeah.
Me TV
Greatest
Tunes.
classic animation.
Yes. What they've done to some of the really, really, really old cartoons like the Casper, the Woody Woodpecker,
Rocky and Bullwinkle, Smurfs,
a bunch of the super old ones.
The Underdog Show.
They've been remastered with AI, and they look amazing over the air. It's not on my streaming system. It's not on DirecTV yet, but I just happen to live in an area where it is over the air. Yeah. And even in HD, those cartoons look incredible. Even if it is in glorious mono.
I cannot get it over the air from Buffalo, but it is available on Philo.
Ooh.
Scrolling down.
Oh, that's a good question.
New York, Albany. No, it does say Buffalo. Friendly TV.
They're trying to remaster the reboot animated series. I don't know, for some reason.
Yeah.
I despised that show.
I was the right age for it. I was Friendly TV is another over-the-top service. Okay, so Reboot is a really interesting show. First, for the CGI that they did for the first time, and second, for the stories of what came out about changes that they had to make to the show for standards and practices.
They had to change it?
Dot Matrix, the ostensibly 20-something woman, originally had 2 breasts, and standards and practices asked that. And it was basically because the people that were making the show were like computer engineers that had ended up in animation because of this and didn't have any experience in TV. And so they went right there.
Come on. You tripped over it. You tripped over it.
I know. I didn't see it. And so I know. And, if she had had breasts, they could have spent the next 3 seasons working on boob physics. But they missed out. And
you mean standards and practices stunted the growth of...
No, I mean, like, it was like the person who was running standards and practices had never worked in TV before. So they kind of went overboard in the wrong direction.
Yeah. And it was probably their first thing, Probably.
Yeah, it was.
They want to do the best job they can.
And Beast Wars Transformers Beast Wars was their second show, and they didn't have any boob problems in that.
I think it was my hatred at the time of all things CGI that really turned me off of the show. Because I've gotten pushback from more than just you. There have been several people who loved the show, a bunch of 90s kids. And they said the stories were incredible. And I was like, I never got past the stories. To my eyes, it just looked disgusting.
Yeah, I can feel that.
AI should stay out of art. We've had that thing.
When I look
Rummy's
back
right.
at it, I can't think of very much that aged well about it.
Yeah. One thing
that doesn't mean that it doesn't hold a special place in my heart.
Oh, no, No.
I remember being very upset when, it was supposed to come out, be watching your TV at 7:30 p.m. on YTV, on this date, and it got pushed by 2 weeks, and they didn't put out any, there was no internet to let anybody know that it was delayed. It's just, I'm ready for it. Where the hell is it? Where?
The great YouTube channel Secret Galaxy is just all over these classic cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've done reboot. I just don't have it in front of me.
I'm not familiar. I'm just looking that up now.
But the one thing that I haven't seen and I want to see, they've done a history of Ghostbusters. Do you remember
the real Ghostbusters?
The real Ghostbusters.
I do remember the real Ghostbusters.
Do you remember that Sony was working on a version of the Ghostbusters at the same time that Filmation was working on a version of the Ghostbusters? If I remember correctly, the Filmation version was first.
I believe you're right, because I think that this came up in the Films That Made Us about Ghostbusters the movie.
Right. Because I think it was referencing older IP or something like that.
Yeah. That they had something that went like 2 episodes or 3 episodes a decade earlier, but it meant that they had the name.
Yes. Yeah. To be fair, had anybody else other than Filmation done it, it probably wouldn't have been as good. Even though Filmation is notorious for their limited animation style, their recycling of animation, and it's not what is it? It's not just, okay, here's a walk cycle. No, we're going to recycle whole scenes, especially the transformation scene. We'll just horse that in there wherever we can, and good on them. Good on them for doing that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the other stuff. The History of Cops, the animated series about police officer superheroes.
Okay, I don't remember that. What?
Oh, it's on the Secret Galaxy YouTube page.
Okay, I'm gonna mark that
Cops,
down.
Max Headroom.
Max Headroom was a bit of an enigma. I think I've only seen like 1 episode of Max Headroom, but I know that it was very popular. He had a bunch of advertisements and things like that. But I couldn't get in with it.
So Max Headroom, Max Headroom. Okay, so there was the British. Sorry, what?
Was Max before your time, or
he was before my? He was not before I was born, but before I was like, I don't even think I'm old enough to watch that kind of TV.
Yeah.
So there are 2 Max Headrooms. There was the British Max Headroom, and then when that got canceled, ABC picked it up, and there was the American Max Headroom.
Okay.
And the American Max Headroom really softened to be like a ongoing monster of the week type show. And this was because the Max Headroom character was so popular, and like was the Coca-Cola, like the Coca-Cola mascot,
Right.
and Max Headroom had a talk show for a while and like was a an 80s meme. But the original Max Headroom series was future dystopian, like, and the character was created by a TV network that needed to keep their chief investigative reporter alive and on the air after he had been killed while investigating a different TV network.
Okay.
And I think the story, and the guys that were supposed to get rid of his body tried to tried to sell his body to an organ bank instead of just properly disposing of him, and then he wasn't killed, and then that's how they ended up with the real reporter and the digital copy at the same time, and that set up the show.
Okay.
I think that the pilot episode was what he was investigating was one of the other networks was doing what they called blipverts, which were like an entire commercial put into 1 second, and it had the unfortunate side effect of causing people that watched them to explode.
Ooh. It's not going to do well for the
and they showed you
audience.
people exploding.
Oh, what?
This was a really fucking dark show in the British years.
Wow.
And like you see like the meetings of like the network heads, like, well, we're selling 30 times as many commercials, so I mean, how many people are going to explode, and is this really our problem? And
yeah, you can watch the US version on Prime Video,
which is much more. Do you remember, what it feels like? Did you ever see the RoboCop TV show?
It does not jump out to me.
Okay. So there was, I think it got 4 or 5 seasons. This was not the TV movies, which came like a decade later and were also like in the dark and gritty. But there was like a 90s RoboCop TV show that was RoboCop without all of the gruesomeness of like the dystopian OCP. And that's the difference between the British Max Headroom and the American Max Headroom.
At least as of 2022, they were trying to make a reboot of Max Headroom. Ooh, with
you could
Elijah
probably
Wood.
Do that.
Yeah.
What? Oh, with Elijah Wood as the...
No. Well, I don't know.
Well, yeah,
it doesn't say.
Because it's going to be the same actor as both.
Yeah, Matt Frewer and Christopher Cantwell and Elijah Wood's Spectrovision. Okay, yeah. So Elijah Wood's going to be on the production, but that was from 2022. I don't know how far they went with it.
The one thing that I think that they really did see coming decades away was that the TV networks were the government, and on election day they just measured the ratings of who was watching TV, which TV station at a specific time, and that's who controlled the government for the next year.
Whoa. I mean, are we that far away from American Idol style voting? Possibly. Who knows? Leon's
I
coming in with
I think that
facts.
we're so not that far away that there are worse options potentially on the table.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, would that be so bad? It's not the worst thing.
I
but
mean,
people
it
here have
could-
already started making the joke that Canada is really just 3 corporations in a trench coat.
Oh yeah. I've said that privately to myself for at least 7 years, but that was me. Leon says, text vote to boobs. Wait, how do you do that? Oh, 80085.
Who has the short code? SMS short code 80085. Somebody has to have that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Was registered on February 28th, 2020 by Tommy Run Alerts.
Oh, he'll be selling that.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. But when it comes to television, for me, the classic of classics, there's only 2 shows that stand out, and that defined my childhood: Knight Rider and the Dukes of Hazzard. We did not care.
You're a car man.
We did not care about the rebel flag being on the General Lee on Friday nights on CBS. We did not care. We wanted to see it jump and evade Boss Hogg. Love it. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. And yeah, I guess I was a car guy.
Yeah, that was. Well, I mean, you just named 2 shows where the car is the star of the show.
The car is the star, and in one, it drives itself. I mean, come on. Who's not going to be entertained by that?
I did love, that that not a central to my to my identity show, but Boy Meets World.
Okay.
The teacher, mentor, neighbor was Mr. Feeney was the voice of Kit.
Yes. He was also on Saint Elsewhere.
Oh,
big
yeah.
NBC sitcom. Not sitcom. Big NBC dramedy in their
Saint Elsewhere? I know it was one of the
Feeney. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Feeney call.
Yep.
Feeney.
That's some good stuff though,
Yeah.
I just want a day where I can just do nothing and watch old stuff. But I can't.
Whoa, hold on.
Do it.
Oh, I searched for Saint Elsewhere, and the people that IMDb said were the stars of Saint Elsewhere were Ed Begley Jr. and Howie Mandel.
Correct.
And Howie?
Yes, Howie Mandel was one of the principals in Saint Elsewhere.
Yeah.
I think it's the only serious
There he
thing
is,
he ever
still
did.
with hair.
Yeah. Oh, Rummy in the chat room throwing bombs. I would rather watch John. I'm assuming you mean Trapper John? Trapper John MD? That's porn. Oh, okay. I was okay. Rummy would rather watch porn. Hey, nothing wrong with that.
And Leon says, I watched Girl Meets World and it was all right. Now the Corey character is a pop superstar, Sabrina Carpenter. It wasn't Corey. It was Ryder Strong was the original one. Why can't I think of his character name? It was the Sean character. That was Sabrina Carpenter. And because she made such an impression on me during that show, it was when she became a pop star, it became very hard for me to see her as an adult pop star rather than, like a 12-year-old.
Right. And don't think they don't know that. And, they're going to try to bust out of that as quickly as they can. by following Miley Cyrus's lead. By doing everything she could to, make sure the dads are okay. She literally said that during a concert. It's okay, dads. You can put me on your wall. It's all right. I'm of age.
Who was? I'm staying on IMDb because now
right.
What was the show? Seventh Heaven.
Did not watch any of that.
Because that was like the vaguely religious, family.
Yeah.
Jessica Biel was the daughter actor from that show.
Okay.
That I think she started with Maxim and then moved on from there and never got to porn, but there was definitely a scandal about the oldest daughter from Seventh Heaven was taking her clothes off in public.
What? You'd think the WB would have, or is it, what is it?
I don't think she stayed on the.
Oh, God, now I can't remember.
Hold on, does it say? Yeah.
Seventh Heaven was super religious. Says Leon. Yeah, that. And we're back to porn.
I don't see which one it was.
Seventh Heaven, I want to say, was the WB. And Leon agrees with me. The one thing that the biggest mistake that WB ever made was getting rid of the frog. I know the heads of the network hated the frog, and they thought that there was it went on for 10 years, yada, 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 but, it's still fun. It's still fun. Yes, they killed the frog. Yes, the same network as Animaniacs. And they were the only network that were recycling animation in their promos, which I thought was just amazing.
What killed me about Animaniacs?
Yeah.
I was at least into my 30s before I figured out that it's the Warner Brothers and the Dot.
Yeah.
She's the Dot in WB.
Warner Brothers Dot. Warner Bros. Dot. Yes. Oh, okay. Did you watch the Animaniacs reboot?
I did watch. I think I watched the first season. Maybe it was the first 2 seasons. And then there was one that I did not. I think the last one I didn't get into.
Yes. Leon brings up Freakazoid. I love that.
Yeah.
I have not seen the reboot because for some reason I made the mistake of reading the reviews, and they all were like saying, "Oh, this is just, hey, remember the 90s? We were here.
Yeah.
We did that."
It was absolutely a show for the people that grew up it was fan service for the people who grew up watching Animaniacs, not the show for kids that adults could also enjoy.
Interesting. Now I'll tell you a show that didn't do that.
7 Days. That's the show that I was trying to think of.
Tiny Toons Looniversity over on
Tiny
Max.
Toons Adventures was the name of the show that I remember that was what predated Animaniacs.
Okay, yeah, they kind of ran concurrently. Like you had a block, you had Tiny Toons, and you had Animaniacs.
No, but I mean, like Tiny Toons came first, and then out of Tiny Toons came Animaniacs, then out of Animaniacs came Freakazoid.
Yes, and now I wouldn't call it a reboot. It's more of a continuation. When the Tiny Toons original characters go to college, the Tiny Toons Looniversity, that is on Max, and that's pretty good.
I was not aware of this show. I remember that in the original Tiny Toons Adventures, they went to Luniversity, like as a show conceit. I did not know that there was a reboot of it.
Yes. It's fairly recent. I think it's like 2021 or 22. I do not know if they're still making it. I hope so, because I'll need to check and
yes,
see if
they are.
Ooh.
It says, well, IMDb says 2023 forward. Started in September 2023.
Okay, cool.
And season 2 ended in March of. Season 2 is only 6 episodes, so I think, and season 1 was 10. So we're probably at a mid-season break.
Yeah. Another show that I am just astounded by the staying power these characters have. Scooby-Doo. The latest series, Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, also on Max. They're, I don't know, I think they're in season 4. And that's another one I've got to get back to.
They tried to, and Velma tried to do a grittier, darker spin-off of it.
No. This isn't that.
No, I'm saying this is not that. But
correct.
In that same.
Do you know why it's still around?
No.
Because they have Scooby-Doo in the show. You can't have Scooby-Doo, all the characters. I don't care how gritty you get. You can't not have the dog in the show and expect people to care. I don't care that she's a different race. I don't care that she's a lesbian. I don't care about any of that. I want to see Scooby, and you didn't give me Scooby, so I'm not. Pass. Hard pass. Sorry.
That's okay.
Got a little worked up there.
You okay?
I'm good.
Okay.
Oh, look, it's already been canceled,
Yeah.
Due to, you could call it due to low viewer engagement, or the absolute dumpster fire that is Warner Brothers Discovery right now.
I think that what they were trying to do was to repeat what happened with the Harley Quinn series.
Oh, now look.
That was lightning. That is lightning in a bottle.
I am all about Harley Quinn. I think they've done it. I think they've caught lightning in a bottle with the spinoff, Kite Man.
Oh, Kite Man. I forgot about Kite Man.
That is so good. I finished season 1 last week. I'm all about it. I'm in. It cements DC as the most lit universe ever. They had, and it's just as body and raunchy as Harley Quinn is, maybe more. And if you need to know what level we're talking about, you just need to watch the Harley Quinn problematic Valentine's Day special. Yeah. A kaiju Bane banging the building into rubble. I love it.
It definitely.
What are you trying to say, Rami? What are you trying to say? Misspell it. See if that'll work. I don't have control over the auto mod. By the way, Wonk, you're a mod now. So
yeah, I see it. I didn't get. Never mind. Allow.
Okay, I don't know what they're doing. Okay. She spelled Looney Tunes wrong, and apparently the mod is.
She was trying to get around the auto mod. The auto mod did not like that.
Auto mod
Kite
doesn't
Man
like Looney
is an
Tunes?
example. Apparently, auto mod doesn't like Looney, and if you start replacing O's with zeros, it's definitely not going to like that. Kite Man is definitely a example that if you have the writing, then the characters do not matter.
Yes. How deep, I'm not a comic book guy, so I don't know how the DC or the Marvel universe goes. I do know that Disney had just canceled Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur after 2 seasons, which was pretty good. Exec produced by Lawrence Fishburne. It had some real good star power in it. Now, I will say the visual style took a little bit getting used to, because it was billed as a living comic book, complete with like pop-ups and little icons and thought bubbles and things like that. And, you know, I was not on board with it at once, but it grew on me and I liked it, especially when paired up against other shows from Disney, like Haley's on it. It's just beautiful animation set in in a city out west.
I can't put my finger on it. It feels like something else to me.
What's this?
The animation style, like the character design.
I kind of felt that same way with the latest Spider-Man movie, the Miles Morales.
The animation style, absolutely. The character design, not so much, but yeah.
But you know, I kind of got past it. I did watch the movie. I liked it. It was all right. But it took my brain a while to accept the character style and the animation style.
But you eventually got there for
I got there. For both, really, to be honest with you.
Fred Tatasciore. What do I know him from? Because I know that name.
Tatasciore has been
Tatasciore.
He's been in a bunch of cartoons. Yeah. He is Devil Dinosaur, for one. And I think he was on SpongeBob for a while.
Star Trek Prodigy, which is kind of a sore point for me because I am a Trekkie and it got its release everywhere except Canada.
Ooh. Were you into the Lower Decks?
Yeah, and we get Lower Decks here.
Okay.
And season 5 of Lower Decks, the final season, has already started. The first 2 episodes are out, and they hold up.
I was just reminded about that. I think I left at season 1.
It's entirely fan service.
Okay.
So if you are, if you've watched everything else that's Star Wars, then you are absolutely going to love Lower Decks all the way through. If you don't, then there's stuff in there, but you're not the target audience.
Are we just referencing stuff all the time or what?
They are playing with things. They're definitely playing with things like, especially in the Next Generation, Star Trek had this real problem where they'd keep upping the score, like upping the stakes over and over and over again.
Okay.
And then it would get resolved by the end of the episode. But the way that it got resolved would have like universe changing implications, but you'd never hear about it on the next episode or anything going forward. So it just got dropped and moving forward because that was just the monster of the week. And they didn't do serialization the way that they do now. So a lot of things in Lower Decks is sort of acknowledging that, yes, there are all of these loose ends that just got left everywhere in Star Trek that never got touched again. And you'd think that they would have fixed that.
Okay.
Like there was an episode of Voyager where there was a transporter accident and 2 characters got merged into one new person.
Tuvix?
And so, yes, Tuvix.
Do you know how I know that? Because they played the promo for that incessantly. Never watched the episode, just heard it on the promo. That's it.
So the point of the episode is you are killing. Tuvix wants to live. Tuvix is currently living. And is it okay to kill Tuvix to bring back to life Tuvok and Neelix?
Ooh.
So it's kind of it's a trolley problem episode. And so they have sort of the same thing happen, like, oh, well, this happened before. We'll just see what happened the last time that happened. She just fucking killed the guy?
Yeah.
Wow, that seems cold.
Okay, now let me ask you this. I'm racking my brain right now because this is a popular trope, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to have multiples of me. Okay, things are resolved. I don't need the multiples anymore. What do we do with them? I mean, do they not fall under living beings with rights and things, and it's illegal to kill them, even if you just make them disappear in a puff of smoke?
Yeah.
You can't. What? I mean,
there's still people.
This has been happening since the 60s. If you make a copy of yourself,
the copy is a person.
Yes.
Yeah.
As many times as that has been done, we're just suspending disbelief to say, okay, poof, you're gone. We just me-seeked our way out of this, and now we're done. Hey, roll the credits.
They want to play with that idea without getting down into the dirty of,
I'm sure Neil.
Well, does the original have a soul, and everybody else is just well, what is a soul? Did
they take apart piece of mine? I mean, do I have much of anything left? Let's say I made 100 of me. Do I still have my soul left? Did they take any of it? Is it just a soulless creature?
And I can't remember who did it. Somebody played with that.
Uh-huh.
And it was the soul got split in half every time they did it.
Okay,
and so
I don't remember this.
It might have been a Rick and Morty thing, but it was like the first person had half a soul left from the copy, and then the copy then made a copy, and they only had a quarter of a soul, and then the copy of the copy made another copy, and then they only had an eighth of a soul, and then it went all the way down until.
Okay, so that would have made sense in the generational days, where you make a copy, you make a generation of it, and you're not going to make a perfect copy. Now we're in the era of pixel perfect copies, digital copies. Now what do we do? Right? We never updated the idea.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, that's kind of what Lower Decks is doing, like looking back at all we were okay with this. That seems a little nuts. Looking at with how we understand things now, looking back at what we were previously okay with.
Yeah. I mean, in order to service the fans, well, bend the laws of physics and morals. Why the heck not?
That's actually comes back, like you were talking about the CW and the WB.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a show because I couldn't remember the title of the show. It was a UPN show from the late 90s.
If you bring up Homeboys in outer space, I'm leaving.
7 days.
7 days? Okay,
Yes.
I don't know.
Does this remind? Okay. So this was the CIA invented time travel, but they could only do it once at a time, and they could only go back 7 days. So the idea was, if the apocalypse happens, they could send a person back in time 7 days to try to stop it from happening, but only for for like apocalyptic type like terrible disasters.
So you can't go back and stop the wedding.
Because if they did it, because there was definitely an episode where like the pilot of the time travel machine definitely stole it to go back and stop like his ex-wife's wedding. I mean, it lasted 3 seasons. They needed to fill out episodes at some point.
Ooh, I don't know this.
But it was like if they went back 7 days and then something else happened, they couldn't then go back again to fix that second thing that happened. So they had to be very selective about what they decided they were going to go back and fix.
Huh. Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is new to me.
So this was an act. So this was on UPN, October 1998 to May 2001, and the pilot who was able to control the machine and get back to where they were trying to send him was let's say mentally unstable.
Yeah.
He was like a burnt out special forces wow, being sick sucks, because I remembered that I wanted to talk about this. I found it, and then what were we talking about that brought me back to this? About
Homeboys on Outer Space was on WB, Leon.
Going back and looking at things from no, I lost it. Oh,
Remy in the chat
let's go to commercial.
Remy in the chat room says, you shouldn't have had that sushi. You look a bit ill. Oh, all right, let's just start the music. I'm done with that. There should be music playing. Why is there not music playing? Come on. I pushed buttons. Dang it.
Push the button.
Oh, is Scooby-Doo behind this? I bet Velma's behind this.
Scooby-Doo.
But yeah, watch Scooby-Doo and Guess Who. That is a great show. Yeah, Homeboys from Outer Space. That was just as dumb as it sounds.
As dumb as Biker Mice from Mars.
Oh no, Biker Mice from Mars was a great show. It gave us the vocal stylings of one Brad Garrett.
Really?
Yes.
I have to go watch that now.
Yeah, check it out. By the way, we're not fully back. There's something I got to do over here. But I wanted to play this for you because we got a little something special for you.
For me?
So I want you to turn it up very nice and loud. And we're going to go into another song here. I think we're a little something from Mike TV. But just listen to how we end things now.
Big Voice J and Routine Walk.
I kill myself almost every night just so I can watch somebody die. Hurting other people just ain't my scene, but killing myself is quite easy. I sabotage like an enemy spy, hiding with the natives till the time is right. The damage I do is beyond compare, and then I disappear like I wasn't there. And so it goes, the bombs explode, there goes my life. Alright, my wasted time. Here I go again, straight for the kill. Better drink my poison, gotta drink my fill. I'm tougher than a look, I gotta work all night if I wanna kill myself tonight. And so it goes, calling the crows to eat my fresh dead eyes. It's no surprise I've given up, I've broken down, and my heart is giving out. I'm giving up, won't try no more. Was my heart still beating for my heart? I hurt myself almost every day, but in little ways, so I can't complain. Little wounds are left to bleed, soon there won't be much left of me. Sabotage is only one of my skills. I also use poisons, hidden daggers and pills. I'm quite good at hurting myself, but sometimes I also hurt somebody else. And so it goes, nobody knows the pain I bring to me. Why can't they see I've given up, I've broken down, and my heart is giving out. I'm giving up, won't try no more. What's my heart still beating for? My heart. I know it's draconian, in the lab late one night. My eyes beheld an eerie sight. My monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. He caught on in a flash. He did the monster mash. From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abodes to get a jolt from my electrodes. They did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. They did the monster mash. Zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. Guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. The scene was rocking, all were digging the sounds. Igor on chains, backed by his bay hounds. The coffin bangers were about to arrive with their vocal group, the Crypt Kicker Five. They played the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. He caught on in a flash. They played the monster mash. Out from his coffin, Drac's voice did ring. Seems he was troubled by just one thing. Opened the lid and shook his fist. He said, whatever happened to my Transylvania twist? It's now the monster mash. It's a graveyard smash. It's caught on in a flash. It's now the monster mash. Everything's cool. Drac's a part of the band. My monster mash is the hit of the land. For you, the living, the mash was meant to. Go to my door, tell them Boris sent you. Then you can monster mash. Into my graveyard smash. You'll catch on in a flash. Then you can monster mash. Mash good. Easy, Igor, you impetuous young boy. Mash good. Monster mash. Monster mash.
Today's revelation from Space Ghost is Halloween. Ghost Planet. Busy, busy, busy.
There it is. Yeah, we should be pressing buttons, and you should be able to hear and see all the good stuff that's going on right about now. BVJ Show, hour number 2. Yeah, it's about 10 minutes late, so what? Browning Wonk is in the building. That's the important
10
thing.
minutes. 10 minutes late in what time zone?
I don't know. You know, just whatever happens, happens, man. What it is. Like
I'm saying we could be early in an alternate dimension, dude.
True. So, as we do with the start of every second hour on this show, we like to do a little knowledge in the building, into our heads and into our minds. Yeah.
Get out of my car and into my head.
Why don't we try the first one here? What are we doing?
If you could erase one invention from history, what would it be? And, going down, social networks. And my favorite answer from this was, we should get rid of social networks. And Joy of Soviet Cooking said, we should have stopped with MySpace and made Tom winner of the internet. I miss the ancient days.
Oh, yeah. That's
half ply toilet paper.
That
It
should
might be
never have
one
been
or
there in the first place.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know how you do half it's like you ball it up in your hand and it's somehow half as thick as it was when it was coming out.
Ugh. Remy says MySpace was great.
Yeah, except unless you had 9 friends, then it was a problem.
Do you remember people fighting all over themselves to be in one's fave 5?
Oh.
The old cell phone scheme where it would keep like 5 numbers and you could call them for free or something or other without using up all your minutes.
Okay, so I remember that. I think we had that here. I don't think I had a plan like that. I think that I had you could call your family. So I think what I had at the time was you could call your family, like all the other lines that were on the same account, for free.
Yeah.
And then you could call, I think at one point it was you could call everybody who was on the same carrier as you for free, but then you had to know which of your friends were on the same carrier as you.
Yeah.
And evenings and weekends. I distinctly remember waiting until 6 p.m. on a Friday for evenings and weekends to kick in to.
Oh God, we were so gullible back then. Oh my goodness. For me,
shit just cost more.
Yep. I know, yeah. For me, the invention would be corduroy pants.
Corduroy pants.
Corduroy pants. Now look, you may not have had this experience, but for our huskier brothers and sisters, the laws of physics are working against us here, where you've got fabric rubbing up against one another, and it could cause a fire. Especially if you're, running somewhere, like the hot light is on or something like that, But, if your legs are moving and you've got all that fabric down there, just rub it up against each other.
There was some friction on your stick.
Kindling is what it is. Yes. It's not good. Not good. Ruined many pants that way.
Guns, communism, agriculture. Some people are really out there. Artificial intelligence, that is yet to be seen, but it could also be just as easily said that artificial intelligence is what's saying I should never have been invented, because we're on Reddit right now.
Now, where are you on humanoid robots? Should those have been invented?
The sex robot was going to happen.
Well,
unavoidable.
Yes. Look, anything can be a sex robot if you put your mind to it.
Anything can be a butt plug if you're aggressive enough.
Oh, just working out the logistics of that, and it's not pleasant. Okay. All right. Shall we move on?
Sure.
Speaking of butt plugs,
if you knew tomorrow was the last day for the human race, what would your plans be tonight? Top comment, have sex with my best friend.
Ooh.
Top reply to that, I too would masturbate. Top comment to that, I also would choose to masturbate this guy.
Look, who are you furious masturbators out there? Well, I don't understand that at all. I mean, it is the opposite of self-love.
Oh, it's hate fucking yourself.
Yes.
I believe. Are you familiar with Lisa Ann?
Yes.
I believe I've talked about this before. She has a radio show weekly on Sirius XM called Better Halves, and she has used this term enough that I think that she's at least said that she's going to be selling merch based on it. But basically, when she goes to the adult trade shows, and guys come up to her table, like there are some that have that aura about them, like the creepiness,
Oh.
unable to, and she refers to them as furious masturbators.
Wow. Okay.
Just like, also, just on that topic, there's no good way to tell a porn star that you appreciate their work.
Well, I mean, you could say big fan. Maybe no, maybe don't present your hand. I don't know. By the way, I think YouTube's algorithm is horny because for some reason,
Aren't we all?
No. I will put my hand right on a stack of whatever you want. I purposely keep YouTube bland because I show it on stream, right? For some reason, this woman has gotten through Pleasure Baby with an H, misspelled baby, right?
Yeah.
And the thumbnails are quite catching. One of them just exclaims, just a smile on her face, give it a thumbs up, hollering, "Blow her back out!" And I was like, "What? Is that allowed on YouTube?"
I stand by what I just said. Aren't we all? Because I would like to remind you of shoot, what's his name? The senator from Texas that everybody loves hating.
Cruz?
Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Do you remember the time that Ted Cruz on Twitter liked and followed a taboo porn star that looked surprisingly like his wife?
Oh, okay, to that bit I didn't know. I just knew about Wow, yeah.
So
I get that.
I'm going to go with that YouTube knows that the people that keep it the blandest also like it the dirtiest.
Valid. Okay. Shall we move on?
Aren't we all?
Look, you can be a freak. You ain't got to tell everybody about it. You don't have to wear it on your sleeve.
If it doesn't make me hate myself, then it's not dirty enough. I can't wake up alone in bed respecting the person that I'm in bed with in the morning.
Look, my eyes are bad. You got to get real close up on things to make sure that you're doing it right. It's all about the pleasure of, just super serving, being a good customer service, right? That's all it is. Being a good neighbor. Dang it.
Super serve me.
Super serving, yes. Horny Cruz. All right.
Non-Americans who have been to the U.S.
Yes.
What is the weirdest thing about America that Americans don't realize is weird?
Ooh, you're a non-American? Ask me what you want.
Okay, so, we do this too. Putting the real estate agent's face on the for sale signs. Which surprises me that they don't do that in other places of the world, which it didn't occur to me that just how weird that is. Top comment to that: can't buy a house from an ugly paperwork person. Ugh.
I have a story about this.
Shoot.
And it brings us back to our first topic. There was a realtor who had her face on the signs out there. Good realtor. She did her job well. For some reason, she woke up one day and said, "I am going to make a video where she forcefully pops a bunch of balloons in a fit of pique, talking about real estate." It was professional. She was clothed, all that.
Yeah.
But she just said, "Hey, by the way, if you're gonna do a proper real estate thing, you need balloons." And she holds the balloons and just starts popping them. Well, that stirred up a bunch of people in the fetish community.
That's a sale, and that's a sale, and that's a sale, and that's a sale.
And say what you will about the fetish community, they do come around their own. They'll like, hey, everybody
come around their own, huh?
I know what I said. Shut up. I know what I said. They were like putting out an APB They're like, come on, everybody be cool. Enjoy the video. Don't try to contact her. Don't try to find her. Don't try to do any of this stuff. Don't make her feel bad for doing this. I mean, Leon's got a good point.
Their job is to get people to look at the house.
Yes. And what,
so
if anything, you are now curb appeal. If you are a realtor, you are now part of the curb appeal of a house.
The thing that I have noticed is very, very few of the photos look not natural, but the realtor always looks uncomfortable in the photo.
I am surprised that this hasn't happened yet. Why don't we have an AI generated realtor? Why are the people at Zillow and Redfin just not using this idea? Everybody is now there, this star realtor's assistant, like Santa's little helper, And Leon, I see what you did there. He spelled trustworthy as thrustworthy. Oh. How dare you? You're ruining real estate. You're ruining escrow. Come on. Everybody be cool.
Other ones, people didn't know just how big the United States is. Like people from Europe. No.
People come from miles around to marvel at our big states.
Yeah, just, how long, like a Brit trying to drive Route 66 and being surprised that it was 48 hours of driving.
It's so long, mate. How do y'all do this? Anyway, that was my British person saying y'all. I appreciate that. But yeah, I love it, especially when it's coupled with a rant. The U.S. should be doing X with high-speed rail or some sort of transportation scheme that only works in a tiny country or contained space. I was like, bruh, this was my biggest argument about rail. You can't put rail everywhere. And you got to get to the rail station. We've already had a taste of free travel, and I mean free in the sense of going wherever you want, not just in a specific route. With roads.
Oh.
You cannot unlight that candle.
Oh yeah, you can.
How?
Traffic gets bad enough. I don't want to be in the driver's seat.
Well, wasn't self-driving cars going to eliminate that, and we were going to do caravanning and things like that?
Yeah. Where's that?
By the way, they've been working on that since the 60s.
It's been 5 years away for 50 years.
No, I'm talking about the old tests in the Great Salt Flats of Utah, where they were using magnets to keep the cars on the road. Yeah,
well, if humans are too dumb to drive around for computers to drive around. That's just sort of.
No, I think that in a nod to being dumb, they're just going to be furiously masturbating again. And we're back to this.
That's sort of.
I mean, not to say that there's not anything from stopping them from doing it now. I mean, people like to drive with one hand anyway. Good Lord. And since I'm in a whole lot more Ubers nowadays, I'm seeing a lot more of that.
We could just go get rid of CAPTCHAs and just ask the question, do you furiously masturbate? Yes, no, yes. Okay, you're human.
Well, don't give it away.
What's the line? It's
it got rummy again.
To error is computer, to furious masturbate divine.
Insane.
Oh.
Now, look, I'm all for self-driving cars once they work out the inclement weather situation. Maybe they just won't run because, people can't drive on ice now or the threat of ice now. And I know up in Colorado and Buffalo and New York, everybody's got all that down. I get it. But we ain't Buffalo. We only have one snowplow, and I think we rented it out. So if something happens, we're messed up.
I loved the year that it snowed in Las Vegas and the airport had to close because of an inch of snow because they didn't have a snowplow because it had never snowed on.
Well, yeah, snowplows are expensive.
The airport, Las Vegas International Airport, closed.
And what's worse, I mean, where's the closest place you can get a snowplow? Who sells a snowplow in the desert? Nobody.
Home Depot.
Well, they may sell shovels, but they're not selling full snowplows.
You know where I bought my well, you can guess from this. Where I bought my last pair of snow boots?
Walmart?
Key West.
Florida. Okay.
Because they were on sale.
That actually makes sense. Well, because you got the swamp. So any boot can help you out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's right.
I ordered these in the wrong order because our next question is, what is the most unhinged thing you do if extremely wealthy? Say it with me. Furiously masturbate.
Masturbate. There you go.
For a whole year, I would buy out every single tub of Top the Tater dip from in a 100-mile radius of a grocery store I used to work at, all because I once had a shitty customer throw an absolute fit at me because we were out of it, and she apparently needed to buy 2 tubs of it every week for parties that she had been hosting for years.
Ooh, okay.
She tried to file a complaint because I, as a cashier, had no way of finding out and letting her know when we would get more in, and my suggestion of her calling in the morning, it was at like 10 p.m., to speak to the manager of the dairy department was me being too lazy to do my job.
Wow. Who?
First, top comment to that is, this is the correct level of petty.
Oh, I can go in better. Just once you see her, have a display and just sit there and eat it and look at it. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm sorry, we're all out. I got the last one. Crunch. That is exactly what I would do.
Do you remember, I think it was like a Claritin commercial that was a guy was teasing a ragweed because the ragweed could no longer bother him now that he's got Claritin?
Uh-huh.
So he's standing in front of a weed, a plant in a pot, going, want some water? Can't have it. Want some water? Can't have it.
Leon in the chat room says I would pay all my friends' debts, and then I'll have
no money.
No, that's not unhinged. What is unhinged? Do it Hunger Games style. The winner gets their debts paid.
Genetically engineer dinosaurs and open a zoo. Top comment, I can only see this being a huge success.
Well, of course. It's been done 3 times? It worked every time, didn't it? By the way, there was a show that paid off your debt if you won. It was crazy.
I would only get on board with this if you agree to spare no expense, except your IT staff. Hire one guy exclusively. Newman.
Newman. Great. Unhinged. Unhinged. I don't know. I just buy up the neighborhood. Kick everybody out.
Jeez,
buy a Starbucks, put it there. Buy a McDonald's, put it there. Buy a Burger King, put it there. Now, granted, I've taken out the entire customer base when I did that, but that means there's no lines.
You know, I heard Barbra Streisand did that.
Yeah, that's about right.
she built herself a shopping mall in her basement that is like hundreds of thousands of square feet.
Staffed?
And when she needs, I don't think so. And then not staffed as in like people down there waiting to help her and check her out,
Okay.
but staffed in that like it's stocked for her. So
by the way,
when she needs to buy a birthday present from somebody, she just goes down to her basement and, goes for a walk around her shopping mall to see what she likes to give them.
do you know we have something like that in the White House?
Really?
Yes. It's one of those White House secrets. It is sort of kind of like a bodega inside of the White House where they stock all kinds of things, little last minute things, little last minute supplies, things like that. And just in case the president or any of the presidential family or staff need something, they can just go right down into the basement and buy it. I'm surprised. That Trump doesn't have a McDonald's on deck.
I had heard Trump had a pharmacy put in.
I think the pharmacy was already there because they have the White House doctor. He has a space there.
Yeah, but that having a doctor and a pharmacy, I guess it's.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know lots of corporations have their own doctor for their employees.
Yeah.
I don't know any that have their own pharmacy. Like even CVS doesn't have. Actually, Target probably does. I've heard Target has a Target store on the main floor of their office building.
McDonald's in Illinois. The corporate headquarters of McDonald's has a McDonald's inside of it, where they sell some of the international items that you can only get, internationally. You can get them here, and they rotate out their menu, and you can see how the other countries are making themselves fatter. So,
ooh, I like this one. Buy an 18-hole golf course and turn it into a gigantic mini golf course that anyone can play.
That's a long mini golf course.
Well, it would be like 250 holes.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you'd get tired around hole 79, right? I mean, it'd take you like a couple days to get them all in, right? I mean, especially if there's no cart paths available.
Oh, well, you need a cart.
You have to have a cart. And a place for your beer.
How did I not say 69? You're right. It would clearly be 69 holes.
I'm sorry. That is on me. Sorry, Rummy. Leon says it's just golf with extra steps. I mean, windmills aside, were you ever big into mini golf?
I love mini golf. I love a lot of things that I don't get to do very often. I like mini golf. I like bowling. I like casino gambling, but it's been, 10 years since I've been in a casino.
I liked bowling, but no one else in the family liked it.
I tried to get my wife into bowling. I thought buying her the shoes would have done it. We got bowling balls. Yeah. I have mine is Starry Night.
Oh, very nice.
And shoes. So she didn't have to rent alley shoes.
Yeah.
And then she got pregnant, and like arthritis in your wrists is one of those things that can happen during pregnancy.
Oh wow. Okay.
So either the universe is against me getting to go bowling, or my wife is smarter than me, which is also an acceptable outcome. Mini golf. I saw a thing online that I'm really hoping takes off here, which is a billiards version of mini golf is a thing in the UK now.
Okay.
So it's a mini golf course, except each hole, rather than being, is a billiards table that you're shooting the ball through the obstacle course with a pool cue rather than a putter. I think that looks really cool.
Yeah, I like that. That needs to be on the Ocho. I think it.
I do love the Ocho. We got the Ocho in Canada.
Oh yeah.
It's a full-time channel up here now.
Awesome. Oh, what was your first taste of it? Was it the slippery stairs?
No. No, it was the thing that made me search it out. That I found it was a thing was the World Series of Microsoft Excel.
Oh. Yes.
Oh, I love that. That's an esport.
That is beautiful.
It's like if you can put that on your resume, you are getting hired.
Yes. Yes, indeed. God, I love that. It's like we need content. We're going to put it on and whatever, anything goes. The one thing that I will have etched into my mind with the Ocho is the giant 50-gallon drum of lube, unbranded, of course, that they used to soak down the steps, and then they just turned people loose on them.
Well, that was a thing in Takashi's Castle, like 3 decades ago.
Mm-hmm.
So Takashi's Castle was the Japanese show that they turned into MXC on the Nashville network.
Yes. What a great channel.
Yeah. Actually, which was where I watched 7 Days after it was by every single golf course, turn them into kids' playgrounds. Barrett Jackson auction. I was always shocked by how inexpensive some of those cars went for. It always felt
really good too.
It always felt like something that should be like, I can't think of what the expensive auction, like the art auction houses.
Bye, Remy.
Oh, night, Remy.
Oh, by the way, let's say hi to
the GeoGuessr champion.
Let's say hi to B. Colford. He just subscribed for 16 months in a row.
Good evening, Maud. Yeah, the Barrett Jackson auction. So, like the Sotheby's auctions, it's like a piece of art, and it goes for like $250,000.
Right.
But like the Barrett Jackson auction, and like a fully restored like 1967 Charger goes for like $32,500. It's like that's cheaper than buying a new car. Why? Why?
Well, I mean, some would say it's just, it is true buying by emotion. And some people just get caught up in the auction thing. Pat McAfee did a sports guy, the savior of ESPN, some would say, he did part of a show live from the Mecum auctions that are held down in Indiana. And he's just literally just buying cars left and right, one for his staff, one for a staff member, one for his wife, one for himself, I think. And they also did some things for charity too, which was also pretty good. Say what you will about Pat, he gives away a lot of money, both on TV and with various charities.
Mm-hmm.
He's putting all that ESPN money to good use. I love it.
Oh, I was thinking of NBC Sports. Dick Ebersol was the savior of NBC Sports the ruiner of Saturday Night Live.
That man changed football forever.
How so?
It was his idea to start including stories of the players, of the coaches. Yeah. It was, and it wasn't just, it wasn't just X's and O's, the gridiron, let's hit each other and let's put it on television. It's, by the way, his mom's here tonight and the show is Mom.
So he was the savior of the NFL.
Yeah. It made it more popular, and some might say it standardized it because a lot of the innovations that one would hoard for your own network, say the things that we take for granted, like the score bug, the instant replay, hearing more crowd noise, putting mics on pads, all of these things. You could say, I'm only going to do this because I'm NBC. No, all of the networks at the time got together and said, this is not going to be a competitive advantage. So let's just all have it. So, and at the time it took a lot of engineering and a lot of soldering on site, which is my favorite thing, to get things on television and for everyone to enjoy it and share their knowledge. If there's one thing I do love, it's a good old knowledge transfer when it comes to how did they do that? And they don't just say it's ancient secret or something like that. I love reading up on stuff like that.
I love being part of that, but I worry that companies are getting too good at manipulating people. You know what I mean?
Repetition is a tool that is older than both of us put together.
Yeah.
And it is by far the most effective way to convince someone.
It's like I think it was from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Thing I love about high school girls is I keep getting older, they stay the same age. The audience is not getting smarter, but the people making the product,
ironically,
the show, they are getting smarter, and it turned into TikTok.
Ironically, the only thing smarter in this situation is the TVs themselves.
I don't plug my TV into the internet. No thanks.
Oh, you know what? That's the one thing that weaned me off of cable boxes was having apps on televisions. And so I have to do it.
My problem, like I have an Apple TV and I use that and my TV is plugged into that.
Yeah.
But my Samsung TV, as soon as I plug it into the internet, start showing ads on the menu bar. So no thanks.
Yeah.
No thanks. Bye.
I'll do you one better. I have an old Samsung TV from like 2012 or something like that.
Okay.
It was purported to be a smart TV with lots of apps and things like that.
Yeah.
All of the apps have been discontinued. Yeah. However, the only thing that does work is the ad service. So when you turn it on, there's a little thing, a little icon. Nothing else works, but here's a little reminder for you to buy a Subaru. Great. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Exactly what I needed. Not even in my
Way
demographic.
To go. Understood the assignment. Way to go. Good job.
Good job, boys. We did it. Next question.
People who are no longer bound by NDAs. What are some surprising secrets that you can expose? In a tech support role, one manager used to boast his team's average call times were the lowest in the company. While average call times were in the 12 to 17-minute range, his team was constantly under 10 minutes. His team was awarded multiple times, and his strategy was adopted company-wide to all customer service and technical support teams, including our internal IT teams. The strategy was under a strict NDA, as we did not want our competitors to emulate it. Their method? Hang up on people. Straight up.
There you go.
Find a way to say, okay, go ahead and do that and call back if it doesn't fix it. Then hang up. Don't wait for confirmation. Okay, so reboot your PC and the problem should be solved. Thanks for calling. Click.
Now, when I worked at a call center, it was in the early days of the internet. So granted, we had to hold people's hands. And this was the early days of broadband, right? So you were either educating someone on how to use broadband for the very first time, letting them know that it is an always-on connection to the internet and they don't have to dial America Online or CompuServe or whatever. And also, at that point, we helped to serve the computers or anything that we touched on the way to installation, say network cards, operating system, things like that. So the calls would go on for 20 or 30 minutes because we would help people reinstall Windows, as would invariably would happen. That changed when management by technology came along, and they were looking at the call times and said, "This will not do. Your call time is now 6 minutes or less," and they started developing tools to aid that. Did the tools work?
We don't care if it's fixed. If it's costing us, if it takes 8 minutes to fix your problem, we'd really prefer that you go to a different ISP.
Yeah. It is literally just as soon as you call, we've already run the diagnostic on your modem. It looks fine, and you cannot shake them off of their decision tree.
Yeah.
You cannot get them off that script tree to do something completely different. Especially if you know the tools they're trying to use and they won't use them.
It's a strategy now to make calling in to customer service so miserable that people won't do it.
Oh, no. You know what? I can see defeat. I will go chat more times than not.
Oh, I've tried doing that, and I've spent 45 minutes on with a chat person who I couldn't get off of their script. Like, this is what I need. This is my problem. And then when they finally get to the end of their script, like, I can't help you with that. You need to phone in. Go wait on hold. Great. Okay.
The only saving grace of that is you can read the text. At least the text is in English.
I spent Friday afternoon fixing fixing somebody's TV because I'm their IT and network guy, and the TV and everything is over the internet now, and the TV company employs that strategy. Yeah. It's just so miserable that it's easier to just pay me to figure it out rather than and I do, and they're happy, and it works.
Good. You know who else is happy? Bad Weave just subscribed for 40 months in a row. Good on you, sir.
Remember when he was Good Weave?
I do.
Good old days.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Crazy.
Something turned him bad. I'll never know him what. Never know him what. Wow. Okay.
Are you all right over there?
But clearly not. Is it weird to read a book at the bar? Lately, I've been getting mixed judgments on my reading at the bar. Well, I would tell those people to go fuck themselves.
Okay.
Because why are you talking to me? I'm reading a book. I work a pretty physical job, and my shift ends about an hour before the local happy hour ends. I usually stop in for 2 $5 beers and read a few chapters and then dip out after an hour and a half. I've had people comment that it's an awkward thing to be there by yourself, not socializing, but I'm friendly with the bar staff and patrons. I miss social cues sometimes, so please be honest about how weird this might be.
I will say I've got a brother-in-law.
Okay.
And we would go places, right?
Yeah.
To, dinner and family gatherings and such. And he'd always have a book with him.
Okay.
Big, thick book. He's a history buff. He loves reading about it.
Oh,
and things.
Good for him not going to the readers.
Yeah. And he will just be sitting there and reading. Now, of course, he would go and get into conversation with people, but when there's no conversation going on, he's right back in the book. Now, I would probably, I think that having a physical book out in a big social situation probably may not be the best thing. If it's a small Kindle or your phone, you could blend in better, even though you're not engaged with the crowd.
I think that just reflects on how being on your phone in a social setting has become normalized. But isn't this really? I think that this is really about being. This is somebody who is in public and other people around them seeing this as a social setting, and this guy seeing this as, as a food service establishment.
Now, I guess, the logistics of having a book out where there's like lots of open liquids is scary to me. If you're at a table and you're by yourself, sure, that's cool. But Bad Weave's like, at a table, yes. At an actual bar, there's a whole lot of things going on at the bar.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that people are going to talk to you.
Well, I mean, there's stuff being passed, but, on either side of you.
Well, no, I get that.
Yeah.
I'm like, if somebody spills something on you, then you're at the bar and that's on you. But also, if you were in the bar, sitting at the bar having a beer and just like reading, surfing Reddit, would that be that different?
No, because usually if it's a book, you got it on the bar itself. If it's a phone or a device, you got it on your person. It never leaves your person. It's not, you're not setting it down on the bar. You're not, you don't have a tablet out watching something. Because that seems like a step too far.
This is interesting. Bad Weave says, and I say wrong to be sitting at the actual bar, is that he's taking up space for people who are more inclined to be social. And whereas I see it
spend money drinking.
as, well, he's spending money drinking. But Bad Weave thinks that being at the bar is taking up the wrong space, and I think that sitting at a table is taking up the wrong space, because a table will at least have 2 seats at it, if not more. And so if you are one person on your own, then you are taking up a 2-top, a 4-top for a group that would want to be social and looking for space. Whereas when you're at the bar, you're only taking up 1 seat. And I see sitting at the bar as taking up as less social than being at a table. And I think that that's just like geographically different.
Now, I know some people who will go to a restaurant by themselves and will just exclusively sit at the bar. They will not go grab a table. They will just be posted up at the bar
Okay.
And we're talking eating, drinking, the whole 9 yards. And they'll be by themselves. And I was like, oh, okay. That's
the only time that I ever sit at a bar is if I'm at a restaurant with a bar and eating by myself.
I don't know. I feel more self-conscious if I'm sitting at the bar. That's me, because I always think eyes are all over me. That may be more of a, maybe more of a me problem, but, I don't know. I guess I always feel better and more secure at a table, whether I'm by myself or I'm with people, than sitting. I just feel more exposed at the bar. Again, that might be, just a me thing, but, it is me. So there's that. I like bad weave. I'm an antisocial SOB. So, True. Since the pandemic, have you become more or less antisocial when it comes to?
Oh, I have become much more social since the pandemic.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I was much more antisocial and like just ready to be on my own and do my own thing until like I had to fight for being social. And like during the lockdowns, and that's like I switched from an introvert to an extrovert during the COVID lockdowns.
Wow. So, dang. I need one of those, because the introvert switches on hard. Now, granted, I'm out here on the internet yelling into a mic with a camera on.
Mm-hmm.
That is not in my comfort zone. Forever, because
I'm just hanging out with you.
Hey, big guy.
Nobody else is here.
What are we gonna do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it has been quite enjoyable to have you here alongside me. So much so that I asked Rummy to start singing your praises. By the way, she recorded them topless. Just thought I'd let you know.
Well, you know what? Rooting is Australian slang for.
Yes, I do.
Root for the home team.
Yes. And, and I appreciate that. And look, it was quick. It was a quick and dirty thing. As she feels better, we'll get her to do some more stuff, because I enjoy it. It's awesome.
Message for you, son.
How about we do the top 10 list? How about All right, let's try this here. Here's your top 10 list for this show. Top 10 things overheard at the Fall Festival. You love the Fall Festival, Wonk. You love good corn maze, love a good pumpkin patch.
Well, we have the Winter Festival, the Winter Fair, that I always make sure to take my kids to.
Oh, cool.
I freaking love the butter sculptures.
Butter sculptures. Ooh. Here are the top 10 things overheard at the Fall Festival. Number 10. You don't look that terrible in orange. Number 9. Bob Peters? No, apples. Number 8. Is it too early to stop liking pumpkins? Number 7. If I accidentally back into that cornstalk again, I'll have to marry it. Number 6. You must be the trick with my treats. Number 5. The cider's not the only thing that's hard. Number 4. I found a stash of baby oil in the maze.
Oh, fuck.
Number 3. I'm trying to find Marco, but people keep yelling Polo. Number 2. Caramel Apples is my OnlyFans name. And the number 1 thing overheard at the Great Fall Festival. Hey! Yeah, that's the way. I like it. Yeah. The great fall festival. How do you not love a fall festival? It is the height of what is it? Diversity and inclusion and all that good stuff.
Do you get the maple syrup lollipops down there?
Probably.
I hope so, because that's one of my favorite things of the fall of the winter festival. All you have to do is pour maple syrup onto snow, and it hardens into a lollipop.
Maple syrup on snow is too close to yellow snow, and I'm gonna have to pass on that. Bad Wave says over under on the number of baby oil costumes this year. It's a good one.
Big Voice J and Routine Walk.
Let your freak flag fly. Let your freak flag fly. We're not here to judge ya, we're just here to love ya. Let your freak flag fly. I see no reason why you can't let your freak flag fly. Liberty Bell, smack it with the rebel yell, shake it like a salad toss, stitch it like Betsy Ross. Let your freak flag fly. Let your freak flag fly. We're not here to judge ya, we're just here to love ya. Let your freak flag fly. Let your freak flag fly. We're not here to judge ya, we're just here to love ya. We're not here to judge ya, we're just here to love ya. Let your freak flag fly. Let your freak flag fly. I see no reason why you can't let your freak flag.
Gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. As I turned up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? I saw us disregard a broken bottle top and a one-man soul. I just do.
Scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek.
Baby, I don't know I'm gonna survive this fatal attraction. It's gonna eat me alive. I'm not supposed to want you, but I do like I dive. It's turned me into a monster, like I'm Jekyll and Hyde. Oh, hey, oh, baby, I'm the reason why hell's so hot. Yeah, you never know, baby, I'm the reason why that it's so fun. Hell's so hot, oh, so hot. All I do is try my best. That's the kind of things I get on relentlessly obsessed. These days I've been golden years, but I wish I could disappear. Ego crush is so severe. God, it's brutal out here. I just died in your arms tonight. It's brutal out here.
Scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek.
Every time you come around, you know I can't stay.
Who's awake now? With eyes wide open.
Every time the sun goes down, I let you take on.
My body's craving, so feed the hungry.
Oh, hey, oh, baby, I'm the reason why hell's so hot.
You never know, baby, I'm the reason why that it's so fun. Hell's so hot, I've been waiting for the jungle. I've been running with the wolves to get to you. Dashing within your clouds, like I've been down the darkest alleys of the dark side of the moon to get to you. Out so it can breathe.
It's brutal out here.
Scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek.
Baby, I want you so bad, it's scary. Baby, I want you so bad, it scares me.
So, I just got a message on my watch. It says, this election could come down to less than 50,000 votes. Do something about it, will you? From the Harris Walls campaign.
Sounds like they're asking you to vote 50,000 times.
Well, I'm not in Chicago. That would have worked so much better if I had that queued up. But no. Weird, because it only came in on the watch. It did not come in on the phone. And I have not signed up for anybody's anything when it comes to that. Very, very weird. I could just tell you that I hate spam. And we'll just press one of these buttons right. Oh, we'll press that button. And we'll press this button here.
Hell no, to the no, no.
None to all of that.
To the no, no.
None of this. I don't want any of it.
AP from Warsaw, Poland. Funeral home in Poland apologizes after a corpse falls out of a hearse in traffic. A corpse that it was transporting fell out of a hearse and into traffic. Polish media record that a man was driving down a street Friday in
Poland.
Nope, never mind. In Poland. In southeastern Poland. A city in southeastern Poland, no less. When he first saw a sheet on his car window, when the sheet slid down, he saw a body lying on the road.
Oh no!
It wasn't even in a coffin.
Oh God!
Local media published an image of the corpse lying on a white striped pedestrian crossing, where it tumbled out of the hearse. Oh my God! It's like the Abbey Road photo, but darker.
No. Oh, don't you have enough to deal with death? Now we got this to handle.
Well, this also from AP, but this time in Greece, and this one I know how to pronounce. From Thessaloniki, Greece.
Ooh.
Greek man convicted of causing disturbance by entering neighbors' properties to smell their shoes.
I'm sorry, what?
You heard me. A judge in northern Greece on Thursday imposed a suspended 1-month prison sentence on a man convicted of disturbing his neighbors by repeatedly sneaking into their properties to smell their shoes. The 28-year-old Greek man told the Thessaloniki court that he was unable to explain his behavior, which he said has caused him great embarrassment. He stressed that he had no intention of breaking the law or harming anybody, and his neighbors testified that he never displayed any signs of aggression during his nocturnal visits. At least they weren't nocturnal admissions.
Oh, dang it, man. Oh, no. We did it with a smile in his face. Oh, God, no. No.
This one I had seen, we talked about last night on W. Scottus's one, DC Game Night.
Yeah.
German police say pizza order number 40 came with a side of cocaine. It's really more underneath the pizza rather than on the side. German police in Berlin busted a pizzeria. From Berlin, AP. German police busted a pizzeria in the western city of Dusseldorf that also, I know, aren't I doing well? Also delivered a side of order of cocaine when customers asked for item number 40 on the menu. That was one of the best-selling pizzas, criminal director Michael Graf von Moltke told reporters in Dusseldorf. I was doing so well with the pronunciations, too. He said police was bad on you, AP. He said police were first tipped off by suspicious food inspectors in March when drug squad officers began observing the restaurant. They soon discovered why pizza number 40 was so popular.
You know, this is one of those times where you really want one of those food influencers to come through and, being there. Hey, what's your number one seller? Oh, I've got number 40 for you. And you come in there and they start tweaking live on the air. It's great. Think of the clicks.
From Celtics Wire, gate lice beware. American Airlines is cracking down on line cutters. Are you familiar with the term gate lice?
I'm not familiar with the term gate lice.
Okay. So this is a piece of slang from the frequent flyer community that entered into use by airline, typically not the airline management, but like the gate agents and the pilots. And so you know how they start calling different zones? Yeah. And so the people who are in zone 5 that make a wall around the gate area when they call zone 1 because they're just standing waiting to be called and blocking everybody else's like everybody in the earlier zones from getting in there. Those are the gate lice.
Huh.
And in this one, they're using it to talk about people who are going up before it's their turn. A major U.S. airline is figuring out how to keep creepy crawlers from getting in the way of the boarding process. Fortunately for the traveling public, gate lice are not actual lice, but these people who crowd the boarding area before their group is called and even try to board out of turn. Cause headaches for gate staff and travelers trying to board in the correct order. I'm going to tell you what they're going to try to do, and I'm going to tell you why it's not going to work. American Airlines is testing new boarding processes and technology in 3 airports, including Tucson International Airport, designed to combat gate lice. The technology would alert gate staff when a passenger tries to board when it's not their turn. So the problem is that it says on, like when you use your phone as the boarding pass, it says what zone number you're in on the boarding pass, but it doesn't. But the gate just says allowed onto the plane or not. So they're holding their phone face down on the scanner for it to get scanned in, and the person doesn't actually see it. They just see what the computer pops up. Okay to board or needs their ID checked or whatever.
This sounds like this is going to need some back end programming, and that's going to cost money. So no.
All they're doing is changing the scanners so it's now face up, so the when it gets scanned rather than face down. And in my experience, every time that somebody gets called out for boarding before it's their time, they suddenly don't speak English anymore.
Okay.
It's a very common tactic that, like, when the gate agent tells you have to wait for your turn, people suddenly don't speak English. Like, just if they're told something that they don't want to hear, I'm going to make it's like customer service. I'm going to make it as hard as possible for you to implement that. And then rather than spend the time, and because the gate agents are like graded on how quickly they get everybody boarded, this person wave them through. They're not worth it, and that's why people are successful at boarding early like this.
That's what I've heard. I've never experienced this because I'm usually one of the first people on the plane anyway. But I never knew this was a thing. I never knew this existed. And I also never knew it would happen on American. I would have guessed Southwest, but because they were always doing zones and stuff.
It's all of them.
Really?
All of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
One time, actually, it was an American flight leaving from Toronto. Somebody in line tried to do that, and the gate agent actually stopped them and told them to go to the back of the line. And they, pretended not to speak English, and then, stood to the side, and then immediately pushed into the line as soon as their zone was actually called. And how do I know that this person was faking that they didn't speak English when they were told that it wasn't their turn? Ooh. Because he sat down in the seat next to me.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I was thinking about commending the gate agent. Thank you for actually enforcing the rules. And then I thought maybe I should just keep my mouth shut. Yeah, and I'm glad that I kept my mouth shut.
Yeah.
Because I spent the next 2 hours sitting next to this guy.
Oh boy, I bet that was precious.
I'm glad I decided to shut up.
To be honest, I don't know why this is a thing. You mean, why is there a rush? You've already bought a ticket. You're going to be.
No. It's the overhead bin space. It's that they charge you to check a to check a bag. So that pushes people to fit everything into carry-on bags. And then what they do is they sell priority boarding, because you have to be in the early zones to guarantee space for it to get on. And because the agents want to are graded on getting it out on time before boarding, even if all of the bags would have fit in the onboard overhead bins, they still tell people, oh, you're in the last zone, you're going to have to check that. There won't be enough space by the time that you get on there, because they don't want the plane to be delayed. They don't want the boarding to be delayed by that.
It costs some money.
Yeah. So, so the metrics that the airline management use make it worse for their customers, and that's just, people act rationally. Hey, Poodle. BK says, I have a large phone. It barely fits in the upside down scanners that they use. Well, it's not going to be a problem on American.
Nope.
Or US Airways or America West, that are all American now.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
I'll give him one of these. All right.
Say goodbye to the gate lice. From Weird News, customer leaves a generous $3,000 tip on a $13 food bill. Then the restaurant decided to sue him. So, from reading the headline, what do you think happened?
I mean, it sounds like one of those great little stories, little thing. I ordered a cup of coffee, and then I then I leave a large tip. I'm going to bless them and make their day the best they can possibly be.
Yeah, influenced by a social media trend called Tips for Jesus. Tipped $3,000 on a $13 bill. They thought that it was a mistake. He said, no, I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart. I intended to do that. And then, shortly before the 90-day dispute period ended, the restaurant received notice that the $3,000 bill was being disputed. Fuck this guy.
Oh, no. He disputed the charge?
He waited long enough for the restaurant to receive the $3,000 from MasterCard, Visa, American Express, Discover, whatever, and pay it out to the waitress, and then he disputed the charge. He decided it's like he was trying to force the restaurant to pay $3,000 extra to their employee.
That is terrible.
The restaurant reached out to him, and then he, because they thought that it was a mistake, because they said that they confirmed it at the time, and then he stopped responding to their messages. So they were advised by their local government that it wasn't going to proceed criminally, and that they needed to sue. So they sued.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So now, knowing the story, customer decides to leave a $3,000 tip on a $13 food bill. Then the restaurant decided to sue him. Good description of the article or bad description of the article?
It's a bit of clickbait. I mean, because once you see that headline, you think the restaurant is doing something. There's some sort of chicanery there. But now this guy is a douche. As was glossed by Wermo in the chat room so well.
Bad Weave says Jesus must have told him he needed to use that money elsewhere.
Oh my God.
Hell
Terrible.
to the fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Also from Weird News, a man once sued himself after he backed into his own car. Curtis Goki was both a resident and dump truck driver with the city of Lodi, California, a small Northern California city just outside of Stockton.
Woo.
According to Goki's wife, Rhonda, during a winter storm that December, Goki backed the dump truck into his privately owned vehicle, causing damage. Apparently, Goki's insurance wouldn't cover the damage because not long after he filed a claim with the city for $3,600 in damage to his vehicle. This all makes sense to me so far.
Of course.
A vehicle that was in both he and his wife's name. Even he even admitted to the city that the accident was his fault, yet he still filed the claim. Let me reiterate that if you didn't catch what's happening here, and this is in the article, let me reiterate that if you didn't catch what's happening here, this man backed into his own vehicle with a city truck that he was driving and expected the city to foot the bill for the damage. It gets better. This all makes sense to me so far. The city denied the claim, of course, for obvious reasons. You can't sue yourself. So thinking that she was clever or something, Rhonda Goki decided to file another claim, but this time the claim would have just have her name, not her husband's. Her reasoning that the city denied her husband's claim because he was the one that caused the accident. Putting her name on the new claim would eliminate her husband's alleged conflict of interest, as Lodi News described. She also increased the damage amount to $4,800, saying, I have the right to sue the city because the city vehicles damaged my private vehicle. She continued almost threatening, I'm not as nice as my husband is. I'm entitled to a replacement vehicle and insurance for the vehicle. Okay, lady.
I bet that is a wonderful couple.
Oh, yeah. He sounds perfectly reasonable to me up to this point. She has some tone issues at the very least. Of course, her claim was thrown out too. Lodi City Attorney Steve Schwabauer essentially said the claim was dumb, especially since Curtis had admitted he was responsible for the accident to begin with. And remember, California is a community property state. Yep. What's mine is yours and all that. I love the writing in this article. Schwabauer pointed this out to NBC News at the time. You can sue your spouse for divorce, but you can't sue your spouse for negligence. They're a married couple under California law. They're one entity. It's damage to community property. So if you ever find yourself so incompetent and entitled that you try to sue yourself to get someone else to pay for vehicle damage you caused, think twice before you do. All of this is the article to me. This sounds like what Curtis Goki did sounds completely reasonable and rational to me.
To sue yourself or what?
Okay, so he sued the city because a city vehicle did damage to his personal vehicle.
Even though was the one.
He was the city employee. So yes. My question is, whose insurance policy covers him while he's driving the city vehicle? It's not his personal insurance. It's the city insurance, I'm betting.
So Cofford says he's not suing himself in this instance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the reason why this sticks out to me was the aunt that sued her sister because her 5-year-old nephew caused her to fall and break her arm.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember this story from however many years ago?
Vaguely.
Anyway, it sounds like on the front, terrible aunt sues 5-year-old for causing her to trip and break her arm. What it actually was the only person that was going to pay the medical bills was the homeowner's insurance. The only way to get the homeowner's insurance to pay it was to sue the homeowner. So they were forced into suing the entity responsible for the damage so they could get the insurance to pay out. It seems to me like the city insures its employee and its truck while they're actively doing city for accidents, while they're actively working on behalf of the city.
Okay.
That's what happened. So the fact that he was the same person that was both the city and the private individual that was damaged seems
immaterial.
Seems immaterial.
Yeah.
That it was, if he had done this to somebody else's car, then you
would think they would have a protocol or a standard operating procedure in place for something like this.
So the fact that was his own car
happened before.
Yeah, that a city truck hit a damaged another car, it must have happened.
Well, yeah.
So unless they're asserting that he that he damaged his own car to get the city to pay to fix his own car or replace his own car, then, they can take that up with the police. But it sounds like that's the right insurance company to deal with it. And I can't believe that this actually makes the car insurance system that we have here make more sense. Because in Ontario, when your car gets damaged, you go to your own car insurance company, not the insurance company of the person that damaged your car.
Mm-hmm.
You go to your own, and then the two insurance companies sue each other. And that all happens on the back end, in which case it would have been his car insurance company fixes his car and then sues the city to get their money back. And if the insurance company was suing the city, this would have ended differently.
Yeah. Poodle in the chat room says this is a California problem.
Yeah.
This is a
Poodle
California
says
problem.
Unless they can prove that he did it on purpose, in which case, get the county sheriff involved or the police chief.
Either way.
It's pronounced Lodi.
Either way, everybody.
That makes this worse.
Everybody in the city of Lodi gets one of these right here.
It's Big Voice Jay on Twitch.
6, 7, 8.
For my body rolls. Watch out for my body rolls.
know you don't know me, but I know your face. I see you quite often when I come to this place. I know you're quite busy, there's so much to do, but I wanted to say I see you. Your smile is a sad smile, like a secret you know. You're just holding on till the time you must go. You're the frost in the morning that's gone by the noon. I guess that's the best you can do. You're the song that no one sings. You're the wound that never bleeds. You're the scent that lingers on in a room where none belong. You're the cold, you're the chill, then you're gone. You move through the people like they aren't there. The walls of your prison you take everywhere. Sometimes there's laughter, but there's just no joy. The cold is a cold that destroys. You're the song that no one sings. You're the wound that never bleeds. You're the scent that lingers on in a room where none belong. You're the cold, you're the chill, then you're gone. Oh, how do I know these things I know about you? Oh, the reason I know is that you do just as I do. I'm the song that no one sings. I'm the wound that never bleeds. I'm the scent that lingers on in a room where none belong. I'm the cold, I'm the chill, then I'm gone.
Oh my God. Well, look at what we got here. Why, there's... Who is that? I'm looking at something else. Hang on. What? Dang it. You started talking about Uranus and now we got...
And now you're all flustered.
Are you not into astronomy?
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? There we go. Now, Poodle's in the building with this. What in the world is going on? Fine. All right. I have something for you today, Poodle.
Oh.
Yeah. This came through on my feed today.
Okay.
And it is the U.S. Copyright Office is freeing the McFlurry, allowing repair of ice cream machines. So,
on the surface. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that was a clap to anybody that couldn't hear it because Clapping on the wrong side of the microphone.
It was for visual, not necessarily
visual.
You're on the wrong side of the microphone. Who are you? W. Scottus 1? As I hit the wrong button. If you go through the article from Ars Technica, you will see the group iFixit, and the group Public Knowledge is lauding a decision by the U.S. Copyright Office to grant an exemption specifically allowing for repair of retail-level food prep equipment, including soft-serve ice cream machines similar to those available at McDonald's. Now, you cannot go into a manufacturing facility and start rejiggering those machines there because obviously, a lot of that stuff is still proprietary and stuff, but ice cream is ice cream. Mm-hmm. And I think this is a good idea. What about you?
Oh, absolutely. Because we've discussed it before on here, how it's ridiculous that the McDonald's version of the machine has all these problems that appear to be intentional. Whereas other places that use the same exact machines never have these problems. Like Wendy's, I've never once seen someone complain that they weren't able to get a Frosty.
Chick-fil-A,
Wendy's,
Arby's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I believe that McDonald's in Canada does not have these problems.
Yeah, and we established that there are currently two different machines.
Mm-hmm.
And the one in Canada, I believe, is the other one.
Mm-hmm.
This issue is isolated to a specific model that has software that they're locked out of. And it's just like anything else with software. That's custom written for a company, like a register or something else, where they have it set so that, the user can or cannot do certain things. And in this case, they're not able to clear a simple error most of the time, which is why the machine won't work, whether it was improperly filled or it didn't finish the cleaning cycle or, whatever that is, but they're not able to do it because they're locked out.
Yeah. What was worse is that the error codes were so cryptic and incomplete. There was no publicly available, or at least franchisee available, legend as to what this code means. And it could change with every firmware upgrade. Mm-hmm. So Section 1201 of the DMCA, obviously they were hiding behind this, makes it illegal to bypass digital locks for the purpose of copyright infringement. Public Knowledge and iFixit petitioned for a repair exemption covering diagnosis, maintenance, and repair of this type of equipment. Now, you might remember, I think you either earlier this year or last year, there was a company that made a little USB stick that circumvented all of that, and they were summarily sued into oblivion.
Yep. Yeah. I'd say hopefully this is good for them. Obviously they can't go back and claim damages because, if they're changing rules now, it doesn't apply to earlier. But I would say for those not in the know or not understanding what this really means, as far as the DMCA thing, this is pretty much like Louis Rossmann suing Apple over right to repair, where Apple wasn't allowing users to have their stuff repaired. And then Apple would say it's broken. You have to buy a new one, yet you could fix it. And, they got hauled into in front of Congress over that. This is literally the same, same precedent.
Legally, good. But I don't think that this is actually going to practically change anything, because McDonald's corporate was partnered with Taylor on forcing all of the franchisees to
but it gives the
use this machine.
it gives the franchisee recourse, because before the franchisee couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
But
Well, they
now
couldn't go to anybody else for service.
and
And they couldn't use anybody else in the restaurant.
Exactly. So this allows them to either fix the machine or to do what they want. So
And
I would say it is kind of the same thing.
do not forget, this is it is so prevalent that the charge to fix the machine is now a line item in Taylor's quarterly reports.
Yeah. I think that it's just that the franchise agreement with McDonald's is going to be what prevents McDonald's franchises from fixing the machines with other equipment rather than the law.
But that's what I'm getting at is this gives them recourse to either sue or protect themselves from retaliation from McDonald's if they choose to do that.
At the very least, just make it so you can fix it during the summer months. I mean, because there's nothing worse than just walking into a McDonald's and saying, hey,
also bring back the banana shake, make it permanent.
Okay, I don't know the banana shake.
Oh, they used to pop up in the 80s and they were so awesome. Oh, do you like banana?
Yeah.
Do you like McDonald's shakes?
Look at me.
So imagine a banana Laffy Taffy, but mixed with vanilla McDonald's shake. And on a hot summer day in Southern California, it was like the perfect thing. But,
speaking of which, we're getting mixed reviews on the little mango flurry thing that Wendy's has put out as part of the SpongeBob collab. I've heard that the mango tastes medicine-y. Mango pineapple chunk, which
number one, has anybody ever had an actual mango? An actual mango has a very heavy foot flavor.
Which makes it the perfect vehicle for tahini.
Yeah, which never really shows up in after like I don't know. Mango's hit or miss when it comes to artificial flavors, and there's what people believe mango tastes like and what it actually tastes like.
Colford has a good point. They had different bananas in the 80s.
Oh yeah,
different strain of bananas. I have heard so much about this.
Yeah, when did the banana blight happen?
I don't remember. But
Banana Blight 2024. No, the older one.
It's like every banana that you buy today is like one strain.
Yeah.
No matter where you are.
There
was one in 1990. In 1919, there was one in 1960.
The 1991 is the one he's referring to. Yeah. So this brings up something very interesting that I learned a while back. I was having a discussion with my daughter. Everybody knows, everybody's familiar. One of the most famous flavors created by Icy.
Oh yeah,
was blue raspberry.
Yes.
Yeah. Yet nobody knows what a blue raspberry is. That flavor. I mean, there are like purple-ish berries that are similar to raspberries, but blue raspberry is not a flavor. So the question was, what exactly is the flavor that they're calling blue raspberry?
I thought it was just what they determined to be raspberry, but the color red was overused.
Nope. I found out that the flavors that they used to create that is predominantly banana.
What?
There's other stuff in there, but the predominant flavor in that mix is banana.
Wow.
And I like it.
Banana
it
gets
because you
around.
can mix pretty much anything with banana. Or like what were those Airheads?
Yeah.
Airheads, the white ones, the mystery ones.
Yeah. Were they all banana?
No, actually. So if you ever have one and then you have one a few years later and you go, I remember it tasting different. That's because the mystery one is when they get to the end of the production run, they'll have different levels of different flavors left. So they just mix them together. Don't put any color in there. So it's all the flavors mixed together so that they can clear out the machines. So every single batch is slightly different. Which is cool.
Yeah.
And it is. And
I am not mad at it.
No, not at all. And that is perfect because it's a mystery. What flavor is it? Well, apparently it's all of them, but the real mystery is what exactly is it going to taste like? Is it more orange, more cherry, more banana from the blue raspberry? Yeah.
I like
flavors are interesting.
Trying to look this up because there was a thing about the flavoring that they did in the UK as black currant. And as I remembered, it was brought over, they tried to bring it over to America and nobody knew what a black currant was in Canada or the US. And I think that's what artificial banana became.
Because I know black currant because they're occasionally I would run across it in candies, and I liked the fact that it was kind of like a tart grape, but I don't, there ain't no.
There was something that it just got reused as something else.
Yeah,
because it was vaguely berry.
Up until recently, we would have been required to call them African American currants, but that's changed again. So I don't even know. Maybe is it back to black currant?
I ain't been in a meeting. I don't know.
I don't know.
I
hear things have changed again. So I will no longer comment because I no longer know.
Of course, the Brits will still call them black currant. Because they're the Brits. So what are you going to do, right? But I will ask you to comment on one final thing.
Okay.
What are we watching tonight?
We are watching Frankenhooker.
I'm sorry, what?
Yep. And it's exactly what it sounds like. And
BK started.
And we've got an official review from Al-Anon's wife saying it's pretty good. So that goes pretty far here. And then that will be followed by a movie starring Paul Walker, Stacey Fergie Ferguson.
What?
Also one of the Carradines, and a bunch of other people. John Carradine, called Monster in the Closet from 1987.
BK, warm up the nipple counter.
Yeah, I kind of have an idea.
I don't know. Paul Dooley is in this thing. I don't think, or not Paul Dooley, Claude Atkins.
Claude Atkins. Yeah.
Claude Atkins is in this. Or Akins.
I feel like for Frankenhooker, we could get one hooker, 6 nipples.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant for Monster in the Closet.
No, I just didn't want to interrupt you while you were.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you don't know what we're talking about there, go back in the chat room. There's been a little invitation to join the Diamond Club Movie Party channel, because that's where we'll be watching, and obviously we'll not stream it because these movies are like, wait, are these trauma movies or did we?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Yeah, because we've been deep into the trauma library all year, and this continues our tradition. I think we break it for November, yeah?
Yeah, we will be doing good movies for Wabbit next month. So start thinking about what would Wabbit want to watch.
Exactly. You can send me story ideas, all that good stuff. BigVoiceJ@gmail.com. Watch the show at BigVoiceJ.com.
Big Voice J. That was a damn good show.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
And
we
there
need,
it is.
We need stickers that say WWWWTW. What would Wabbit want to watch?
Yes. Very good. All right.
All right.
We'll shut her down. Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay.
Pleasure
All
as
right.
always.
I got to go run a thing, and then I'll see you for a chunk of Frankenhooker.
All right.
The guy about a horse.
See y'all.